Feed me. Feed me more. Feed me more. Feed me more.
The Ryback Show starts now. Welcome to the Ryback Show, Sunday Live. I am the big guy, Ryback. Hope everyone's had a great weekend. A lot of NFL football today. A lot of things. Big workout for the big guy. 50 minutes on the Stairmaster at a higher intensity than even normal. Conditioning continues to get better. We'll talk more about that on here. We're going to be streaming. We're streaming on TikTok here. The big guy, Ryback20. We almost have 1,000 people in here over on TikTok. Thank you, guys. The social channels have been very slow overall. I would say this is overall the lowest they've all been simultaneously, and it is what it is. We continue to stay hungry and continue moving on. Also on Twitch, we have banned a few of the people that were spamming on Twitch, and we'll go back and get anybody. If we have to disconnect from there, we will. But hopefully we could stay on, and if we have to go back and block some more people later, we will, so that eventually we could stream with no issues over there. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is, right? It is what it is, and I'm going to make the most of it. Also, Ryback TV here on YouTube, Ryback Rules on Twitch, and then Ryback on Twitter. Super chats are guaranteed to be answered here on Ryback TV on YouTube. We are on every podcast platform. You could subscribe on your favorite platform, whatever your iTunes, Android, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We are on everything. iTunes reviews are greatly appreciated for the show, and we are streaming on Stationhead, the radio app as well. If you follow me on there, it's free at Ryback. Follow, and we're gonna hopefully we send in a thing on for being able to have call-in guest where the sound is linked up through all of the channels minus TikTok, which is just streaming separately from a separate device on that. So we'll give it another go today. I've not heard back on the bug, but on the other one, they just fixed it, and it wasn't an issue where we can actually, where the guests are able to bring them in. So we are going to get that eventually. It is going to get right. Maybe today's the day. We will do another test during today's show on all of that. As always, this show's brought to you by Feed Me More Nutrition, my premium supplement line, sweetened with stevia and monk fruit, no artificial sweeteners and colors, vegan friendly for men and women on feedmemore.com. We have 13 different supplements. We have a bunch of different accessories on there. In all January orders, you get a pair of the Feed Me More Nutrition premium lifting straps with the padding, which these are great. You wrap them around your wrist for wrapping around the bar for a secured grip when you're doing like deadlifts or different things. Some people like to use them on a lot of different things. I pretty much use them on deadlifts and traps. And I do without them also on that to work on my forearms more, but I do a lot of hand grip work and different holding dumbbells, farmer walks, static holds with like 150-pound dumbbells and big 55-pound plates for gripping those. I'll do that usually once every other week. And I do my hand grips every week on there. The Captains of Crush hand grips over there. Those are badass. Those are is the most legit hand grips you can get on anything on that. So check that out though, guys. Feed Me More Nutrition. That's the best way to show your love and support outside of coffee money here on Ryback TV on the Super Chats. I just saw too in breaking news, I just put out a tweet and on IG, Bob Saget, you may know him from The Star. The dad, Danny Tanner from Full House, unfortunately was found dead at 65 in his hotel room in Orlando. He was down there doing a show, I think in the area. I think they said in Jacksonville, if I'm not mistaken. And it shocked me. I grew up watching that show and a huge fan. He was, I enjoyed other things I've seen him in, and he seemed like a great person. I didn't personally know him, but he was a big part of my childhood growing up. That TGIF, thank goodness it's Friday. He was in that the cycle of shows there. He was a mainstay for many years, and it's crazy as we get older and go through life and people pass. You know, there's been a lot of deaths, it seems like, the last few years, and it's just crazy. He was only 65 and he looked great. and I'm really curious to see what the cause was, and hopefully it was peaceful and no foul play or anything of that nature. And just send my condolences to his family and friends, and thank you, Bob, for all the great memories. And death is a part of life, and we are all going to experience it. And I truly believe it is a great thing when we do pass. I think it is, but it is something we will never understand. And obviously, we all have a level of unknowing. None of us can. We can think we have an idea what's going to happen, but we truly don't. I choose to accept it as very peaceful, and probably the greatest thing ever for us in that moment after we pass. But we never know. And family and friends and loved ones, everyone has a different way that they process death. And I try to always take a very positive outlook on it, but there's a lot of factors that go into it. And it's not, obviously you miss and don't understand why at different times certain people go. And but it is the one thing that we all have in common, and will have in common, is our time will come. It's just, I saw that pop up on my feed, and I just go, I wasn't expecting to see that today. And but thanks, Bob, again. And like I said, thanks for the great memories. Yeah, there's been a lot this year. I hate kicking off the show with bad news, but it was something that you gotta that just it was just came out, and it's unfortunate. We've got a super chat. Cowboy, thank you very much. I hope you're doing well. A regular here on the Ryback Show. Is it true to get big, you have to eat big? Yeah, it is. I mean, there's no way around it, right? And I will say though, that genetics do play a big role in this. And if you have the ability through your metabolism, if you are an ectomorph who has ectomorphs have very fast metabolisms. And I think we've all probably known that person, someone or multiple people that can just eat whatever they want and stay skinny. Those are the people that have the most difficult time putting on weight, because their metabolisms are so fast, and just for whatever reason they just burn calories at a rate far greater than most people. Now that seems like that might be a fantastic problem. We always want what we don't have, right? The downside of that is those people cannot put on in muscle and strength at the rate of most other people, mesomorphs and endomorphs with that, right? And everything has, I'm a classic mesomorph where I can go either way. I have to work hard either direction, and it gives me, I have a lot of freedom though, based off how I consume food and energy, right? But for the majority of people, even being an ectomorph, you can put on weight, but you got to increase your calories at such a rate that you have to be very motivated, and you have to have the appetite. That's something that oftentimes I've been had the ability to always eat a massive amount of food. And that helps me being vegan when I eat larger portions of the vegetables, get the micronutrients to get my calories in still, because I got to eat a larger portion of food than I would if I was just eating animal products to get the calories. But I'm getting so many more micronutrients. But that's never been an issue for me. So that's another reason why being vegan has been so easy for me. And I do my 4 meals a day and whatnot with that. But I'm able to consume a large amount of food still in the foods, even though I'm eating much better foods. I'm eating larger quantities than I've ever eaten actually in that. But for you and what you got to do, and I could adjust that if I wanted to put on even more. I would eat more rice and even more beans, and I eat a very limited amount of those. Typically 1 to 2 servings only a day. Usually just one on that. Sometimes two though, and in between the two performance meals. But you gotta, if you want to gain weight, you got to look at that basal metabolic rate calculator online. You got to know how many calories you need to maintain your current weight with your current level of activity, your workout routine, and you can plug all this information in, and it can give you a very, very specific number that's usually very accurate on this stuff if you're very honest with your information. And you just got to start consuming typically 3, 4, 500 extra calories a day, if not more, depending on your metabolism. But it's always better to start on the lower end so you don't put on unwanted body fat, unless you just know that you need to eat a larger amount. You're in that classic ectomorph, and you where it's harder, but you got to do that consistently. You can't miss days too often. on that, right? So, but anything's possible. But that's also another reason why a lot of people get into steroids. It's often, and obviously, all people of endomorphs, ectomorphs, mesomorphs use steroids, but you'll oftentimes see a lot of ectomorphs turn to them because they just can't put on weight. But I always tell people the big mistake you're making on that is play to your strengths of your genetics. Don't try to be something that you're not. Be the strongest, most ripped guy that you can be as an ectomorph, and and be happy, rather than say, "Hey, I'm 145 pounds, 155 pounds at 6 foot, and I want to be 300 pounds like Ryback." I'm telling you, the work, it is so easy for me to be that because I'm just playing to my strengths, rather than you might only be able to get to 175, and you might be able to be way leaner than me year round without working nearly as hard as I have to be lean, right? So I always tell people, play to your strengths, and accept it, but be your best at that, and because otherwise it's a life of misery, I feel like. And it's, and I understand we're always going to try and do things, but that was something I learned. Wouldn't it make sense for me to say, say I was in MMA and I literally can stay above 275. It would take so much work for me. Like getting under 280 is really, really hard for me. For the most, like I would have to really, really, really cut my calories really low with a lot of cardio, and like I just hold on now to my weight very easily. Can I get lower? Yeah, but it would take so much time and effort. Like if I said, no, I want to get down to 240, I don't even know. I mean, it would take an hour in the sauna every single day, intermittent fasting probably 20 hours every single day, an hour on the Stairmaster every single day. It would probably be having to stop weight training to try to lose muscle. Like it would really take a lot of work. And even then, it wouldn't be a guarantee on that. But so why fight that, right? Is what I'm getting at. But it is, you want to get bigger. Life is energy, food is energy. You got to consume more energy to get bigger. Great question, cowboy. Giddy up. We've got another super chat here. Got the super chats coming in today. Jason Green, good to see you, buddy. Hi, Ryback. Last show ended at 1 hour and 6 minutes with 3 minutes of black. You were looking at something. Any reason of that happened? Yeah, great. I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. We had a power outage here, and it was a quick one where everything went out really quick. And my TV went out first, where I noticed it, but I didn't even realize my connection had gone out here. And I was still doing the show for a minute. They're like trying to figure out, like, damn it. And then I realized I saw my screen went out as well. So it was, and the only thing I think that was still going was my TikTok was the only one. And I believe, but I believe, and I think Stationhead kept going as well, if I'm not mistaken, because it was a really quick power outage. And I went out and I looked, everything had reset. And yeah, the really don't know. It was a calling to end the show then, so I didn't get to do the usual wrap up. But I apologize for the technical difficulties, and I wish that the something like that, like I wish this would have just like paused, and when it just stopped the entire show. I am glad though that show I was able to put it on the pod on all the podcast platforms. It wasn't loading on StreamYard immediately after. I think I had to wait about 20 minutes, and then it finally popped up. And I go, oh, that's good. At least I still got the show for the audio on that. But it is you never want any technical difficulties, but things happen when you're recording and recording often. I saw that, yeah, so a big day in the NFL. The Rams lost to the 49ers. The 49ers continued their dominance over the LA Rams. I will say, though, and I've always been a Rams fan since I was a kid because my dad's always been an LA guy. So I grew up watching all the LA Kings, the LA Lakers. So I've always rooted for the LA teams, regardless of not really being a Cali guy. More so just because my dad always did, and I grew up. I had good memories watching the games. But I got to say, I'm glad the Rams made the playoffs, but I was kind of hoping they lost today because my boy Tom Brady, and I say my boy, he doesn't know me, but I'm sure he knows me through Gronk. But I was hoping they would get that number 2 seed, and I'm pulling for Tom, even though I'd like Aaron Rodgers. I won't be upset if Aaron Rodgers wins either, just so he could tell everyone to suck it, and because everything of all the things going on with him this year. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady for MVP. I mean, that's a tough. I honestly think Tom's going to get it, because I think everything going on with Rodgers, I think there's going to be people. We've already seen a reporter come out and say he's not voting for Tom or for Aaron because he's not, doesn't have the deal, right? And which is, that guy should get kicked off the voting committee right away for even publicly saying anything like that. But I'm glad he did, because he probably will now by doing that. Can't do that, man. We've got another super chat here. NASCAR Man 101 Gaming. Some of these names, I apologize, I have to read them. So I never want anyone to like, what was it? CNN got baited on Twitter with like the bend over names or Mike Hawk. We've got a super chat with Mike Hawk here from the Philippines. Hey, Ryback, I'm trying to get back into shape and lose weight by lifting weights and exercising. I've made some good progress already, but got any tips for me? No, congratulations on getting hungry and doing the work, man, and realizing that you want to be better, and it's going to carry over to every area of your life. You now are going to start noticing things, and you will have the ability to make changes and to learn. And this is a journey that I'm really happy that you're going on. You just got to wake up each and every day, literally, and just go do the work and assess your result over time. Be patient, but be consistent. And will mistakes happen along the way? Probably. As far as, are you going to slip up here and there on the diet? Probably. The main thing is a lifestyle that you will use for the rest of your life. It's not, hey, I'm going to get down to my goal of whatever I'm doing, and then I could just let it all go out the window. You may be able to ease up more often over time once you get to a certain point, right? And I always say, like I said, it's all about balance and allowing yourself. I like to do my wine once a week, where I'll have a couple bottles of red wine once a week, and it's something that I look forward to every week, and it keeps me very disciplined throughout the week. Now, is that something that I'm going to keep at that schedule forever? Maybe not. I may adjust it. I may do it less often. Maybe I split it up to a bottle 2 times a week. There's ways, but I'm very consistent regardless. And I think that's what you're going to learn as well. And you're going to have days you feel like $1,000,000, and you're going to have other days where maybe you don't feel like getting it done. And that's where you got to grind, and you got to know what you're doing it for, and enjoy what you're doing, and realize if there's something that you don't want to do that day and you want to switch it up, it's okay to do that too, man. If you're not playing like, if me going back to wrestling, I got to be really strict on my conditioning. Like I did 50 on the Stairmaster today. It would be great if I could just where I go, like, what, I could just take it easy and I'm gonna be fine. I'm not on TV right now. I know though, for me, that if I start relaxing my brain, and it's gonna make that work I got to do harder when I really have to turn it up, right, even more than I already am. So that's why I keep it turned up, and I'll test myself on days just to make sure. And like that, because I'm working towards a very big goal. But if you don't have as big of a goal, it's just more, you got to stay consistent. You got to get that physical activity in. You just got to find, you can mix it up more and have a little more fun with it. But it's just being consistent. And if you slip, like I said, just get back on track. A bad day doesn't have to turn into a bad week and into a bad month, into a bad year. It's a bad day. And that bad day could be erased the moment you go to bed and wake up the next day. And that's something that I've gotten better at, and I don't beat myself up. And this is just life in general. If a day, business-wise, things are really frustrating and annoying me, I go, and I don't let that bad day turn into any more than just a bad day. And even then, it's not that bad of a day, because I'm alive and I'm breathing and life is good. And I remind my things of all the things I'm grateful for. And I have them all around my house to kick me out, because I'm human. We all get negative and we all get angry, but I have things that kick me out of it really quick, where I go, stop being a little bee, Ryback, and let's go get back on track. So that would be my advice. And great question. Just keep at it, man. Jake, good to see you, buddy. As always, another regular here on the Ryback Show. If you need gym motivation, just look at Ryback wrestling videos and listen to the Ryback theme music during workout. Thank you, buddy. I got that Feed Me More music does hit pretty hard. Let's see, Austin, you're on Stationhead. Let's see if we'll do a sound check here with Stationhead with everybody. Appreciate all the love and support on TikTok. The account has been really slow again for a few days. I made a post of sliding into your DMs drunk with a guy where he goes to get into the water and his crack comes down. And they left the post up, but the post was doing really well early on, and they stopped it in its tracks. And it didn't move for 3 days. And then ever since that post, nothing has done good. And I tell you, TikTok I love them, but they've got some things where they will down regulate your account if you do something they don't like, which is why I stopped. I won't do any posting. IG, I'm still shadow banned. I am done talking about everything going on those stories because I have friends. I told you there's other people I know. These companies now are working with everybody. They are shutting everybody down that's sharing any information that goes against what they want out there. And this is we're going through a really crazy period. And I already have my stuff going on with WWE with all this. I don't need any extra stuff because then I don't get seen hardly by anybody. So, and I can't, I tried to just stream live. It will be 1 month on January 11th that I've been shadow banned on Instagram, and they still over 2 community guidelines that they're in review and they won't review them. They're just leaving me shadow banned. And that's where I was like, I'm going to not post and see if they let the account come back. But there's people that just that have been on constant shadow bans for months because they don't want to stop sharing it. The problem is nobody's seeing the stuff. So it's my thing is, I was like, all that, the Rogans and the people that have access to putting that stuff out there, and then the people that are okay getting their accounts deleted and stuff. As a business owner and having a following already, it doesn't serve me to try to fight that fight outside of whatever I talk about on here, and it's going to be very limited at that as well, because otherwise I as a business owner and not being on a major TV or anything, if I get silenced, right, then I get silenced. There's not another avenue. Let's see. We're going to take a guest here, see on Stationhead if we can get this working. Austin, I saw you wanted to come in. Let's see if this works. Austin, I can't guarantee, but I will take your questions and at least answer them. Let's see if we get Austin on here on the Ryback Show. Austin, are you there? Good to see you, bud. Give me 1 second. I want to see if could you guys on the other outlets hear Austin? Austin, if you don't mind, just give me a quick sentence. It could be whatever you want. That's perfect. Let me see here if we got did you guys hear Austin at all? Okay, they can't hear still, so the bug has not been fixed. I got to tell you, not you, Austin, but Stationhead is really, I'm very unsatisfied with them thus far. It took a year to get this, I feel like, where they have the web browser, and yeah, they can hear you on that, but not the YouTube app or Twitch. But what's your question? And I'm going to go ahead and answer it, and I'll repeat it to them, and then I'm going to have to submit another bug report and see if we can't get this fixed. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and read that question, and then I'm going to go ahead and answer it over there. All right, bud? Thank you very much, Austin. Let me see. Now we got to see if it lets me remove Austin as a guest. Austin, yeah, it doesn't have, last time it gave me the option with it. Now it doesn't have the option. I'll have to report a bug on that. Thank you, buddy. All right. So Austin asked, great question. I appreciate it, Austin. Austin asked, he hasn't heard the show in a while, an update on my shoulder with everything. And it's actually, again, been a lot of tedious work of I'm actually had to stop for the rest of the day. I saw my Wasana, my therapist yesterday, who I go to every single week, and we're at the final stage on the front of the shoulder, where she has. And I put a video up on Instagram a couple months ago with her manipulating my shoulder, where she has to use her whole body, where my arm is over her thigh, and where she manipulates the joint and it puts a little bit of pressure on my elbow. We have to take breaks when we do this, but it breaks up all the scar tissue that is formed in my pec, upper pec, and all in my shoulder and rear delt. It sounds like firewood cracking when it's going. And yesterday we got a huge amount more, and this is the best my shoulder has felt since I left WWE. And I would say, because my shoulder was really bad there the entire time I was there, my shoulder, it was compromised, and the cortisone started I'm talking right away with all of that. So I was always in pain with that. So I haven't been in pain now for some time. Now it's getting where I'm not getting the grinding with my scapula being stuck still in a couple places. I had a huge bump on the top of my trap that was like just this huge ball we've now gotten down to such a tiny amount. And there's one other area, and I have a golf ball, a snooker ball, a lacrosse ball, and a softball. I have the 4 balls that I got to use for various movements. And I can finally now get my arm behind my back, which I would be in tears, and not like crying physically, but it was so painful when she would try to like get my arm, because she has to put it in certain positions for it to access different scar tissue. And I know it's really complicated for people to understand. And can you say like, well, like my back, I had to get my back better first. That was the most serious, because I was bad. They healed my back 100%, the stem cells. Unfortunately, and BioAccelerator has been great. Those stem cells can't break up scar tissue. It takes a lot of work. But I will say with the stem cells, because they do it inside the joint, I don't have any symptoms of arthritis. Like you wouldn't know. The only way I know I'm bone on bone is because structurally the scapula is not functioning properly, which kicks my humeral head out when I'm doing certain exercises with too much weight, which has been but I'm lifting more weight now than I've lifted since I left WWE with anything. Or I would say since I began my stem cell treatments, because I was still going really hard about the first 6 months, 5 months, maybe 4. And then my shoulder got so bad, everything, and it went downhill really quick after that. But I am the best I have been. I'm just simply trying to get to a point where I know that, because you have to understand how much this has been 5.5 years for me, about a little like maybe 4.5 of treatments with all of this, 19 stem cells, a lot of time, a lot of money, endless hours, day after day of rehab, of getting my health back. That if I say, oh, I'm just going to go back now and I'll just keep working on my shoulder, but I don't want to go back to being in pain where I can't sleep. I don't take pain pills. I don't want to do that. I don't want to get addicted to pain pills. I don't want to have to rely on taking drugs to perform, doing like the cortisone or the Toradol just to go wrestle. And I don't have to anymore. And I'm in such a position. So it's just simply, we're very close. This has been a big week again. And it's going one day at a time and just getting a little better and a little better. And like I told you, I will know the moment, and this could happen at any day, mind you. Like, and I'll know tomorrow where I'm at with my shoulder. As long as I know my shoulder's not grinding on certain exercises, and then my stability is really good, and I know, and I've got my range of motion back on most things. But once I know that I could do like really hard physical activity, and not like where it's like, oh God, my shoulder, you know what I mean? Because once you go back into that grind with wrestling, even though I know how to protect myself and do things with that, you're still you don't want to be you don't, like, I was always in pain. I don't want to always be in pain anymore. And I'm older, even though I feel younger and better than ever. I'm still older. And as you get older in life, what I've overcome, I overcame in my prime, right? And it's taken a lot of work, but I don't want to have that where I go back and I have an amazing 10 years and I really do the goals and hit all the goals that I want and do everything else with my business. But then I'm 50 and I'm completely wrecked. I'm not going to do that. I don't have to. And because I'm telling you, it's not worth sacrificing your health for wealth. And I've learned to make money with my body, and I'll be able to go back and control that. And again, I don't have to whore myself out for a promotion just to earn a living, because that's all I did, because that's all I knew. That's all I wanted to be. But I took control through my hard work and effort and created my own income with this, with everything, to where now I can go, hey, I can go back and do what I love at a much better schedule and still have my health intact for the rest of my life and not destroy myself, right? So that's because I know I see a lot of people, and not you, Austin, that it's a great question. They'll just go back already. What are you doing? I don't get it. Like your shoulder, there's a reason behind this. Like I wish you could lie in your bed and not fall asleep, because your shoulder is just throbbing every single which direction area. You can't put your arm out because it hurts to lie that way. You can't set it on you because it hurts that way. You can't do something if you're with somebody and you try to put your arm around them and you can't do it. Like it affects so many areas of your life, let alone the atrophy that I had, that I've gotten completely back with that. And just, there's a reason that I'm making sure that I'm at a certain point, and I assure you, and I promise you, it's going to happen, because I know how close we are with that. But even once I know too about going back and the things that happen, I'm not going to like announce it, right? It's going to be a surprise when it happens, and I'm going to hope to God it's a surprise, because that's the best thing in wrestling. But the goal is this year. Like this is and it's I'm killing myself. And like anybody that doesn't think that, or like, I wish you all the best. I know the work that I am doing every single day. I'm up before the sun many mornings, and work all the way tonight on everything. And it's why I'm in the position I'm in. It's going to happen. So. Hello. Let's see. We have any other super chats on here tonight? Oh, very cool. You've lost 60 pounds with diet, exercise, and some Feed Me More weight management supplements. Need to lose 20 pounds more, hit a plateau, but we'll keep it up. Thank you for the inspirational words and highly effective supplements, big guy. You're very welcome, and thank you for believing in us, man. And I believe in you. I told you guys, I'm in the supplement business, but I'm in the self-empowerment business. And supplements have always worked for me because I've always worked. And I believe it goes hand in hand, and it goes hand in hand with a positive mindset. And supplements, and that's why we have natural supplements that are just natural ingredients that are in foods with these things that have the research behind them. And I know from firsthand experience have helped me tremendously with this. And I know they can help the majority of you. But like I said, if there's people out there that just think like, hey, I'm going to just take this stuff and I'm going to just be jacked, I'm not going to do any work, I'm going to eat really poorly, I'm going to drink every night, and then I say, don't buy it. Please don't buy them, because you're not going to be happy with any of that. Right. And there's certain supplements you could take and you don't have to do anything, like the sleep aid, like the Too Sweet, the blood sugar support, the Wake Up Limited Energy will give you energy regardless. You're going to want to go work out, I would think. I can't take that and not want to do anything. Like there's certain ones, the Big Eye testosterone booster will increase your testosterone and your libido regardless. You will get better results. So if you go work out and you do the work on it, but like the Shell Shock Extreme Fat Burner, I say, don't think you're going to take that and then start eating even worse or not doing anything. I'm like, it's not going to give you the results then that you're looking for with that. Now you could, if you keep your diet the same, you will see a slight improvement on that with that. And you may be able to get away with a little more cheating here and there, but not nowhere near what a lot of people think. And I see it there. Oh, I'm taking the Shell Shock Fat Burner. Let's go get 3 bags of Doritos and chug a gallon of queso. We're going to and then wash it down with a 12-pack. And then you look at it. Oh, I don't look like Ryback does steroids. Okay, Billy. Sorry. We've got a new member here at Ryback TV, Austin Dudek. Thank you very much, buddy. And I believe that was Austin, who I just spoke to over on Stationhead. I will actually submit the bug too here, because I've got it on the screen. As soon as I wrap up this show, I'm going to type that in here from this actual show, so they have it. and see if we can't get this fixed, because it's very, very, very upsetting. We've got Corey. Good to see you, bud. The best thing that could ever happen is the removal of government section 230 protections for all social media, and I would hope that that would remove the government from having any say of social media. I'm not familiar with that, but I would hope that it is. We're in very strange times overall with what's going on. We've talked about, and we're at a very interesting point in our history, and you got to remember our freedoms are the most important thing that we have, and they are 100% being infringed upon now. And I do believe that there are enough people in government and in certain perceived, like in DeSantis, and I will say too, and even if a Trump DeSantis ticket is an option, as long as everything goes right, I could see them hopefully getting in. And I don't know. I don't follow it enough, but I'm just more aware of things going on than I've ever been. And I think the majority of politics is all corrupt in one way, shape, or form. But it's one thing if corruption is going on, but they're not also taking away our rights and causing. And I can tell you guys this: for me, I'm not a fan of the administration and what is going on. And I say that because I am being affected as a business owner, and I'm going to share some information with you guys. My products, the cost of my products have gone up for the raw materials so much in the last year. So much so that I have to put on hold on a couple of new products that we just announced, because I've just got my prices are going up on some formulas $8 more per unit. Now you got to understand, when you are dealing with thousands of units, you're also dealing with thousands of labels, and you're dealing with shipment. My shipment cost to ship my products on the pallets from the manufacturer to my fulfillment has gone up, probably doubled what it was since all of this began. So my costs just keep going up as a business owner on this. And I'm seeing everything. And obviously, if I talk about certain things and then they're trying to hush it on social, this is not being like, it's not good on that. I feel for, like, I'm fine and we're going to be amazing and everything's great. But I've seen firsthand, I have the luxury of being able, okay, but like, I make a decision. I go, I told my manufacturer, I go, I'm not paying those prices right now. I'm going to wait and see if things improve. I go, that's not worth paying that amount. And that we've already had to raise our prices on certain things. And, even shipping my products. I lose money with charging you guys $9.99 for shipping. And shipping is free, by the way, for orders over $125 domestically on there. Our average shipping cost is closer to $12 an order right now. When we set that price at $9.99, that was the average shipping cost. So I go, I don't want to make any money. A lot of companies will make money on the shipping. I go, I don't want to have to take people's money on the shipping. As long as we're breaking even or very close to it, I'm happy with that. I'm now losing money because shipping costs are now closer to $12 per order. I lose $3 on top of that. And so you got to remember, if I throw you guys discounts or I do any other things, my margins just keep getting smaller and smaller because of everything going on. And this is just me in one aspect of business. And you got gas prices that have gone up. You have groceries that have gone up. Everything has gone up, right? So nobody's winning in any of this. They are not making anybody's lives any better, and it's not a good thing. And that's where now I'm like, okay, looking at this, I go, this is not good. And it's not just like minuscule price increases. If you're going up $8 per bottle because of raw material increases, that's very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. What else do we got going on? Yeah, Brian, I agree. Everyone thought that getting that little stimmy check was the best thing, and it is. I think, though, I will tell you, I do believe, I'm very optimistic that I think everything is going to work out the way it needs to work out. And even though other countries things are going on, I do believe here they are not going to be able to do what they are doing in other places. We have too many proud Americans that will not allow that to happen. And I think and I think too much information is coming out. And like I said, when you got people like Rogan, and these people are very powerful people, that if they start censoring like people like him, he has enough outlets where it's going to make it very obvious, and he has enough power where they can create and notify people where people, you know what I mean? And that's like the rallies that they're going to start doing. And we need powerful people like that they can't, like if they try to stop them, it's beyond obvious to everybody what's going on, right? Which is why they haven't, even though like they've took down his stuff on Twitter, but he goes to Getter and instantly follow me on here. He's smart enough to know he's setting himself up that, and you can hear me here and you can follow me here, and but it's dangerous. And I tell you, Zuck has already done interviews with Fauci and I believe Gates, if I'm not mistaken. That man, what you tell me what business he has doing any sort of interviews with those people. You want to know why they're doing interviews and meeting? Because they're all connected on that, which is why the opinion checkers are now banning people that go against what that, and it's all going to keep coming out and people are going to see. And like I said, you can do what you want with your body, with everything, but we cannot lose our freedoms. And this is something that especially, and is very concerning for me as a person and an athlete and somebody who's very cares about his health greatly, seeing, that another soccer player dropped dead or had a heart attack, I apologize, on the field. I believe from what I saw, because some people go, how can you correlate that with, past incidents of players dropping with heart attacks in soccer? It's up, I believe, over 300% from where it was. So, and somebody had posted that, and don't quote me on that, but you just see healthy players, people just start, something's going on. And they believe there's last it was 18, 19 or over 20,000 deaths from everything on the VAERS website. That's not made up. And they said that's a low estimate on top of a lot of other things going wrong. Right. So like there's a reason for people to want to have a choice on this. And, again, for the majority of people, it's not a big deal. I've told you guys, I haven't lived in fear a day of any of this. There's a lot of people like me out there, right? So, but again, if you do and you want to go do that, cool. But don't say that, hey, I'm the selfish one or this, when all the data and everything else shows that it has no difference on any of that. And they need to be publishing and showing the natural immunity just as much, which is shown to be better. So, but everyone's going to have their opinion on things. And, my health is my health. Your health is yours. Don't try to infringe on my health, though. And that's all. And that's all there is to it. And nobody will. I am not in the Royal Rumble. No. Another super chat here. We're going to go ahead and shock Mox out of here. Mox keeps making accounts to show up. I appreciate the dedication, Mox. Clearly, I'm sure you've got a picture and an autograph with me at some point in time, or you desperately want it. Jose, good to see you. Contreras. Hello, Ryback. What are the benefits of a 24-hour fasting, and is it safe fasting more than 24 hours? So it's something I started with intermittent fasting, and I do now a 24-hour fast once a week to reset my body, to let my body rest. I don't take any supplements. I just total rest and relaxation, no weights, no cardio. Fasting in general, whether you're intermittent fasting or, there's a lot of good information from people like Dr. Berg on YouTube, and Thomas DeLauer has a lot of fasting material as well, where these guys are extremely knowledgeable, much more knowledgeable. I know how to do things and listen and get results for me. They are much better, and they've broken it down into so many videos as well, where I would highly recommend watching them for getting some things on fasting and getting a couple books on it and reading and listening as well. It's always best to start on the smaller side, sleep, get 6, 7, 8 hours sleep. And, maybe you fast for 2 hours before bed. And maybe if you could go an hour or two after bed and, say you sleep 8 hours and now you've just done a 12-hour fast, right? And then you go about your eating and then you do that for a little bit, week or two. And then you go, I'm going to try to do a little longer. And you try to do maybe 12, 13, 14, 15 hours. And you do that for a bit. And you increase it based off of your caloric needs and things of that nature. And it was explained to me that doing 1 24-hour fast once a week was just as beneficial as doing the intermittent fasting. And I prefer it because also I need so many calories throughout the day that for me, if I, outside of just sleeping in breaking my fast first thing in the morning. Um, and I know there's a small fast before bed at night, but I got all the way up to 20 hours a day. It was very difficult to eat all my meals in that short period of time. And I can't even imagine that was before I was vegan. I can't even imagine doing that vegan with the quantity of food that I have to eat, eating everything. Um, and also I was working out fasted, and I was fine. It wasn't horrible, and my body adapted well. I get much better workouts though when I have food in me and have energy in me to burn at the level that I want, especially doing like hard conditioning. And as I go heavier and heavier, so it's finding that happy spot for you. Again, 2 to 3 times a year, I'll do a 48 to 72 hour fast on that to push myself on that. And they recommend not doing that too often on that, but everybody's different on that. But I think the key is start small, start learning the information as long as you have no medical issues or anything like that, and listen to your body. If you're doing it and you feel that you're getting extremely lightheaded and you don't feel good, eat. There's no, you know what I mean? I've never got to a point where I was concerned for my well-being, and I've gone all the way up to 72 hours. Now there were a couple times, and there was one time on one of my first attempts at trying to get to 72 hours. I'll never forget. I believe 56 hours in. I was coming home from bowling all the way across town, and I started getting lightheaded while driving, and I was very close to my home. And I was driving by a sushi place by my house before I was vegan. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna go have a nice big all you can eat sushi meal. And it was amazing. And I was fine. And then the next time that I tried to do it, I waited a while and tried. I didn't have that issue, and I was fine. And you see, part of the problem is I was doing a little bit too much physical activity when I was doing those fast instead of just letting my body rest. And on that particular time, that physical activity of bowling was too much that deep into the fast for me at that time. And I just listened to my body. I probably could have got home and been fine, but I took it as, when you start getting lightheaded, and I knew that from information that I saw that you don't need to push it if you are in a state where you're not sure either until you get that confidence, right? Especially when you're driving. That's not the time you want to be lightheaded or anything. So start small, work your way up, start doing your research and start learning on this as well. And I think it'll be better. You're going to know a lot more over time, and you'll be able to implement different strategies and find what works best for you. Great question. Happy New Year. Thank you very much. Hello, hello. Yeah, I don't. We started off the show talking about Bob. It's it just was not expecting to see that today. Another super chat, feed me. Good to see you, buddy. Another regular here on the Ryback Show. If you had an unlimited budget and complete ownership of WWE, book the biggest WrestleMania match of your career. How are you booking it from scratch? So it's just the match. Thank God he didn't say a card, because that's a little too elaborate. I'm going to involve myself in this because I believe it would be, and I'm trying to think if the storyline is very important. It would be my return, though, with the stipulation on the line. Kind of remember what Vince did with Trump with Bobby and Umaga. And Vince is obviously too old to wrestle, but Vince's monster of Brock Lesnar versus Ryback, with the stipulation that if I win, Vince McMahon has to sell WWE. That coincides with Vince actually selling WWE. That would be in the victory of my return against the evil corporation. In I believe that would be the biggest WrestleMania. And there's people if done correctly, it would be, because it would be reality, and booking reality in pro wrestling and making things as real as possible is in creating that emotion. And now, will that ever happen? But if you're giving me unlimited control over it, I think that is something that would generate a lot of interest. Hulk versus Austin would be the opener at this point. If we're talking at their age, man, you can't go back in time. This is booking right here, right now. But I'll put Hulk and Austin on that card as well. I would give them the opening match to go out there to get the monster pops on that. It would be Austin over with a quick stunner as well. I'm very pro Austin. Love Hulk, but they're both Hulk's health. Hopefully he could take a good stunner, get Steve that massive pop, and give me enough time for the crowd to regenerate. And I would. Who do we got here? We're gonna have to shell shock another person out of here. If you spam, you get turned to jam. Getting down shell shock down that pit of spikes in Rybackville, my man. Ryback's such a mark for himself. He books himself in the biggest match of WrestleMania. I love the people also that don't understand my sarcastic sense of humor, even though I'm dead serious on that. Is I think it would be amazing, but you always going to have the haters out there. Braun, Braun just messaged me the other day on Instagram. He's coming into Vegas. We're going to meet up. I haven't seen him in years. So maybe I'll try to get Braun to do a vegan food video with me for feeding time. I told him, I go, yeah, I think he wanted to get a workout in. I go, I do my workouts, I go, usually with my shoulder at home or up where I'm at. I said, but maybe we'll go grab a bite to eat, or, maybe I'll go see him wherever he's at and at a gym, and then we'll go get a bite to eat. But because we wrestled a little bit together on a tour, I think it was me and the Usos versus the Wyatt family on a European tour, the whole thing. So I wrestled him for like 2 weeks straight with Bray and Luke Brody. Ryback versus Vince. Yeah, we could just take Brock out of it. Vince goes one last go, and I injure him, so everybody thinks, but it's all storyline. But where I injure him, and then he has to sell. Ryback versus Vince and Shane handicap match, 2-on-1. That's another booking scenario. Throwback to the original booking. Yeah, we will do another protein flavor. We have the vanilla mocha frappuccino ready to go and peanut butter ready to go. I'm waiting to see if prices come back down. You got to understand, it's because it makes no sense to do new formulas right now with prices are so outrageous. Like, I didn't realize prices had, like, just for my last reorders, prices have gone up. Like I said, Pumplex City has gone up almost $8 a bottle for me. $8 extra per bottle. You got to remember dealing with thousands of units on each order. So it's a lot. It's frustrating. And then for that to then, because I don't want to raise the prices anymore either. Am I a Raiders fan? No, I'm actually hoping that they lose today because they are corrupt. They sold out. That corporation is directly connected to what's going on and took money to then pass mandates on fans to make sure they get the deal to attend their games. And that is as corrupt as it comes. That's, you do not care, rather than just allowing negative tests to come watch the game, which would have been the most efficient thing to do if you actually truly care about people's health. Instead, they go, nope, we're going to take probably millions of dollars they got to then promote that and to force people to do something to go into a game. And that's why I'm not, I wish they would leave Vegas. And is that hopefully that rule goes away with as more data comes out showing how stupid that is. So. Yeah, Teen Wolf, we do. Feed Me More Nutrition does it. We accept all payment forms as PayPal. Not all, because we don't take like Bitcoin. Even though I did look into that, and it was a real pain. They said to set that all up with everything. So I just haven't incorporated it yet into the website. But we do PayPal on that. Yeah, credit card, PayPal. I don't know. I think there was an Amazon Pay. I think that got removed as well. there were some issues, but it's PayPal, the PayPal Express, and then the credit cards, credit, debit, the whole thing. Good to see everybody here. Good to see all. Walter, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, we're gonna wait till we get the station head fixed on there, and I want to be able to, because it makes it difficult. I don't know why they don't have that connected yet. It should theoretically work, but I know they're new. They just got the web browser off the app so that I can at least stream on there simultaneously while doing this show. But I need the people to be able to hear for that, for the audio on the podcast as well. Otherwise, it's just me talking. And unless I really explain and set up what's being asked, there's dead time on there that I don't want. Do we have a question? Do a question on TikTok tonight? Appreciate all the love and support and the diamonds over on TikTok. After you left WWE, I stopped watching it. Same old boring matches every week. Thank you, buddy. And yeah, it's like I said, I'll watch some stuff to keep up and to stay sharp. And some of my friends or people that I'm acquaintances with to see how they're doing and whatnot. But I think wrestling has changed a lot, and I think that's something. Again, people are going to wrestle and do their things and have their styles, but I firmly believe in certain things and things I was taught that I know work and have firsthand experience of learning and knowing that they work at the highest level, and just having control over my matches and storylines as far as how you want to carry yourself and conduct yourself and let other people do what they're going to do. But numbers are down all across the board on everything. I don't buy, even though social media and people can be engaged online. I think if you have a great product and storylines where people feel like they can't miss it, that they still will tune in. And I think that is a big problem. And I think the biggest problem in pro wrestling is people are being put and cast as roles that they do not fit. It's physical acting. And if you have too many people in the wrong roles, people tune out. And it is what it is. Feed me, good to see you again, buddy. You think Paul aligning with Brock is a swerve? How would you properly end Roman's and Brock's storyline to make everyone happy and satisfied? Yeah, I honestly thought that they were, with everything that happened with Roman, that they would let them just keep them apart now with that. And but it appears they're going to have another match, right, for the title. I don't know what's the deal with the current situation. It can't be title versus title, right? Where there's a double champ. I don't know. Are they doing that? But I would have just left it alone and let them go their separate ways after that. And then Roman as a heel, people could debate whether he really had the deal or if they made an excuse to get out of the match. But also, I do think, yes, that it is very possible that this is all a setup, and which is why maybe they are keeping it going. Is that the plan is not for Paul to be with Brock? Because I like Brock on his own, babyface Brock. This is I think fantastic what he's doing. He doesn't need Paul with him anymore, and especially in this role as a heel, I like him with him. But even now, what he's doing, I think he could be even a better heel down the road on his own, as he's really broken out of his comfort zone and just being incorporating more layers to his character, essentially. But I could see that I thought that the other day when I saw that too, that could be a possibility with this. It's all one big setup for Paul to screw Brock one last time, which would make sense kind of with Paul's promo of ball wash and Roman out there, right? That it's all a big swerve. So that we're just gonna have to wait and see. You never know. That could very well be what the intention is right now, and it plays out an entirely different way. But usually on the big angles and things, if Vince has an idea, he typically usually follows through with it in some way, shape, or form. But very good observation on your part there. But ending it, I do think, I don't know what the deal is if they are going to get a Roman Rock match. Rock is a lot older. He looks great, and there's a reason for that. But like he's a lot older now, and it's is he capable of doing it? Absolutely, but it's all a matter of you know. I'm sure he will if he's able to get the time off and do it, and it would be a very worthwhile payday for him, no doubt. Vince would take care of him on that, and it would be it would make Roman an even bigger star to have the torch passed to him from The Rock, and that if that's The Rock's truly his last match or something of that nature. I think that gets a lot of eyes on the product with him coming back, obviously, because he's we're going to have to go ahead and undo Twitch here. I apologize. We'll have to make sure we go in there and ban that person. It's unfortunate we got people that want to do this, but we'll get rid of them one at a time. We'll do one more question here before we wrap up tonight. Thank you very much. Saying on TikTok, you got me through the tough times after cancer. I wear the Feed Me More wristbands. Thank you very much. And I hope you're doing all right now. That means a lot. And I assume you're doing a lot better. I'm actually we have a ton of those wristbands. I'm going to actually be doing probably making those part of the free gift package on feedmemore.com for Feed Me More Nutrition again here probably even for February maybe. But thank you very much. I truly hope you and your family and everyone is doing all right. Paul, great question. Have I come to terms with your career being over? I've never even once thought about that. And, I think it's something that we'll leave you on here for a minute before we block you, that I see the people out there that how negative you are not, you don't understand what's going on. And it's very easy to be hateful. And if you read dirt sheets and you have a certain opinion that you want to believe or you have formed, I ask you, why would you then be drawn to want to come and watch me on a show that I do or to follow me on other things, right? With that. But I would say that it's a reflection of your mindset that you can't comprehend the situation and you think it's over. I swear to God, it is not over. And I know it's not over. And I've been blessed and protected my whole life. And I've been able to get my health back. And this has been an opportunity for me to prove my hungry mindset with my brand and my mindset with everything that I talk about. I've been given the greatest gift of all to go out and actually prove it. Walked away from millions of dollars. Not a lot of people would have had the balls to do that. And I've literally done everything I've said I was going to do. I've gotten my health back. I've turned my company into a success from nothing with that. And I'm ready. We're getting ready to rock and roll once again. And I see there's other people that send me the messages. They go, your shoulder's never going to get better. You don't know what I know. You don't know what I know. And I know I'm already better. And I know just where I'm going to get. And that's like, but it's people that look at things and think you don't know how I feel. You don't know the work that I put in because you can't actually understand yourself doing it. So, and you don't want to see people be happy and be successful and do the things that they love. And you want to read something and think like, oh, maybe this guy's blackballed from everything. You don't know the conversations that I've had because I don't talk about them on here. So I look at people like you and I just smile because I know you will be glued to the TV when I am back. I promise you with that. And you will simply either become a massive super fan as always, right? And you're just upset that I'm not there, or you will change your opinion to something else to continue your hate. And that's all that you guys do with that. But the key is address you, shell shock you, and focus on the good fans and all the loving fans out there, the good people, right? And if you don't think I'm going to do something or you don't, cool, you're entitled to your opinion on thinking that. But just know that I'm going to tell you, I think you're straight up just a little bitch Mark that reads dirt sheets a little too much. And I look forward to you seeing me back on the big screen sooner than later. Feed me more. So yeah, that's me coming to terms with my career being over. We got another super chat here. Feed me. One more thing. Getting hate online and from videos is tough. How do you deal with the bullying without making you cry inside? No, so if you ever know, like I meet so many great people in real life, and I have enough experience of knowing and meeting fans all around, oh, literally all around the world, that online, it's simply people, and it's very easy to spread hate online and to get stuck in a negative. You're in a bad place and you're just scrolling, or you're upset, you read something, you want to go hate on somebody. With that, I never have found somebody doing well in life that's going around and like just spreading massive hate to people that for something that's not connected to them, right? It's not like if you're in fighting or wrestling and you have beefs with other people online, that's part of your profession. You're in the conflict business, right? But I'm talking about like people that just come and do say things like just give up on yourself, you suck, you're never going to make it, this and that. Like that's a person not doing well with that. And I don't care, they may think they're doing well, but they are not doing well. They are spending their time on that, on something that is not beneficial for them, rather than they could think that, but they have not learned that they can think that, and just not to focus on it and to focus on things that are better. I and again, I have a lot of experience with this. I refuse to give power to people that are powerless in situations. And I know no matter what, even if someone says something and does, like they go, it makes me angry. It makes me, if something makes me angry, it's because I can't physically actually see them in person to have words with them on something like that, because it's something I know they wouldn't never do in real life to begin with, right? With that, but I know the work that I need to continue to do, and I just stay on my goals and my on track, right? So that I go, no matter what, if somebody tells me, I wake up and then I'm doing my work and go to put on Twitter, I hope everyone has a great Sunday. This happened today. One of the first comments that pops through is on me, wishing people having a good day. Jesus, you're just trying so hard to be relevant. Go away. You suck. God, nobody cares about you. That was one of the comments. I just block, just keep going about my business. That person doesn't matter. Now, am I going to sit there like, oh, I don't matter. That person thinks I suck. I should just probably, maybe I should just smoke weed and get drunk all day and not do anything with my life. Because why? Like, you see what I mean? No, you keep doing the work, you block them out. You got to know who and what you are and what you need to do in your life, and you just keep doing it. And you block them out and you try to focus on the good as much as possible, because there's always good and evil. We always have a choice with it, right? And it's very easy. That's why I also think I keep Twitter off my phone the majority of times. I'll make my post in the morning, I take it off with it. If I put it on, I take it off so that I'm not constantly being exposed to things throughout the day. I make my post on the other platforms. I do my stuff. I don't sit there and scroll around and looking in things. And in that way, I have control over my day, and I'm not wasting my time outside of when I need to be doing my post for my business or to something to be seen to help my business, et cetera, with that. But you got to know who and what you are and do the confidence and how, as long as you do the work, those things, you got to understand the people, there's always going to be people that are hating. And you look at the most successful people in the world, they get the most hate with it, because and it's just the way that it is. And the key is just to block them out as much as possible. And it's like I don't hate anyone on those. I block, and I want them to not. If I bother people too, my thing on the block isn't a bad thing with people, and it's all, and everyone can perceive this differently and have a different understanding of it. My feelings on it are that if I block you, it's not, hey, I hate you and I hope bad things happen to you. It's, hey, you're negative. I don't want you anywhere around me. I don't want your energy around me. And if I bother you that much, let's block you so that you at least don't have to watch me anymore. Go move on to something else, right? It's not a bad thing at all, but a lot of times people will perceive it to be the end of the world, or that bothers them, or like, God, he can't take criticism. And it's like, take criticism only from those that you believe, or you should take criticism for, that you respect. And that's a big difference of somebody giving you advice. If I'm if Bret Hart comes up to me or Shawn Michaels and gives me a suggestion on something, two guys that I grew up loving and watching that I have a lot of respect for, which by the way Shawn has done and helped me greatly in my career, right? With that, that's different than some Joe Schmo that hasn't done anything with his life, that's miserable, that's not doing well, that's just trolling people online, that No, I don't want you anywhere around me. And it's no hate. I don't have time for that type of behavior, that type of mindset. You're not at the level that I'm playing on, and I don't want to be around it. So know who and what you are is my best suggestion. Great question. Let me see here. I'm looking to see if I missed one other question. I can't see at the moment. But with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up tonight's show. I'm going to try to get this Stationhead thing all figured out. I'm going to report that so that we could take the calls and have the call-in show fully operational with everything. I appreciate all the love and support on TikTok. As always, guys, check out my Feed Me More Nutrition premium supplements on feedmemore.com. Feedmemore.com. With that vegan-friendly, gluten-free, guys, you get free wristbands with your orders. Sign up for my email and text message programs. You get exclusive discounts every week and 25% off your orders with that, along with the free premium lifting straps as well. So check all of that out. And we should be back for, we had 3 recordings this week. Hopefully we'll get 2 or 3 in this upcoming week. And until next time, my friends, stay hungry. Feed me more.